Tonight, we're going to go through step by step. We're going to explain how the fix was in with every single scandal involving the Clintons. Here's everything you need to know when it comes to America's most corrupt political family. No rules apply. No laws exist. Ethics do not matter. Hillary Clinton rigged the Democratic primary to stop Bernie Sanders. She robbed him blind. The fix was in. Hillary Clinton actually colluded with Russia by paying, millions and millions of dollars for that fake news dossier, Russian propaganda, Russian collusion to smear Donald Trump. And she tried to influence you, the American people, to swing the election with those lies. The fix was in. James Comey changed the announcement about Clinton's private email server even after her team deleted 33,000 subpoenaed emails, destroyed some of them by using acid wash, known as bleach bit, and even taking a hammer to BlackBerries. The fix was in. Bill Clinton met with former Attorney General Loretta Lynch on the tarmac in an airport for 40 minutes, only days before Comey's decision. Are we really to believe all they talked about was their grandkids? The fix was in. Then there's the corrupt Uranium One deal. Millions of dollars pour into the Clinton Foundation and Bill and Hillary's pocket. She's the Secretary of State. She approved this agreement, one of 9 people. And, of course, all while Bill is doubling his speaking fees in Moscow and, by the way, trying to meet with nuclear officials in Russia. And he did meet with Vladimir Putin. And there's also the massive plot that the FBI uncovered 1 year before that deal was approved, which includes bribery, extortion, money laundering, kickbacks, racketeering. Key members of the Obama administration knew this was happening, including Mueller and Eric Holder. Yet they decided to give 20% of America's uranium to Russia and to Putin. The fix was in. Even Lindsey Graham is now calling for a special counsel to be appointed to investigate Clinton. Actually wants 2 special counsels. All these cases prove the Clintons think they are above the law and they are protected by Democrats and a colluding media. But tonight, one Democrat is calling them out. Former interim DNC chair Donna Brazile continues to expose this corrupt Clinton political machine on a level nobody ever knew existed. Hillary rigged, stole the Democratic primary, stole the Democratic nomination. And Donna Brazile is continuing to tell her story after she wrote an article for Politico magazine last week entitled Inside Hillary Clinton's Secret Takeover of the DNC. And she explained how it was all rigged. And she found evidence Hillary, quote, rigged the DNC, cheated Bernie Sanders and his supporters out of the nomination. It was so bad, Donna Brazile agonized when she had to tell Bernie the truth. She also revealed that there was a secret agreement between the Clinton campaign and the DNC. It gave Hillary Clinton and her campaign total control of the DNC's finances, strategy, personnel decisions, budgeting, data, analytics, and mailings. Think about this for a minute. Hillary Clinton, former First Lady of Arkansas and the United States, former senator, stole a primary election. All of you who voted for Bernie Sanders, you were cheated. Everybody. Disenfranchised. She sold you out. There are also new parts of Donna Brazile's book that are coming out, like how she considered trying to replace Hillary Clinton with Joe Biden as the party's nominee. Remember when Hillary collapsed at the 9/11 memorial? We played it a lot. Well, Brazile also writes that the Clinton campaign treated her like crap by writing that she told Clinton's team, quote, y'all keep whipping me, and you never give me any money or any way to do my job. I'm not going to be your whipping girl. Predictably, Democrats are lashing out at Donna Brazile for telling the truth and blowing the whistle on Clinton corruption. Watch this.
I think anybody who suggests that the DNC has the power to rig an election. When I was DNC chair, I knew, Katie, what we did didn't influence 10 votes. I find it hard to believe anybody can cite anything that may have rigged the primary elections in Hillary Clinton's favor.
I have great respect for Donna. I consider her a friend. She's done a lot for the Democratic Party. The charge that Hillary Clinton was somehow incapacitated is quite frankly ludicrous.
So do you agree with the Clinton campaign that Donna Brazile fell for Russian propaganda?
I don't know what Donna Brazile fell for. When I hear the word rigged, let's be very clear. Hillary Clinton won the Democratic primary by 4 million votes. The Democratic National Committee does not run elections for primaries.
The allegation she's making there simply isn't true.
I would hope that there's another side to the story. But that, again, that's neither here nor there. It's almost a waste of time.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Let's listen to Donna Brazile. One more time.
Nobody cares.
On this week.
Nobody cares about what Donna Brazile has said in a book.
Governor, one second.
Nobody.
You don't think anybody cares about her story?
Nobody cares.
Really, Governor? Nobody cares she stole an election? You know and I know that's a lie. And by the way, the liberal mainstream media, the same people that colluded with Hillary Clinton, the same people that are basically an extension of the Democratic National Committee and their talking points every day that don't have an original thought in their head, and they're a bunch of sheep that apologize constantly for the Democrats. Well, now they're apoplectic. Watch this.
To go back over this now, when they're trying to win congressional races and trying to get ready for 18, seems to me to be beyond counterproductive.
I've gotten emails from Democrats, passionate Democrats, who say they feel betrayed by all this. Any regrets? Do you think this helps for the book to come out?
My issue is not that she's speaking out. My issue is the fact that she's been wrong. I think if I had done half the things that she admits to in these excerpts, I'm not sure I would be telling folks.
All right, thankfully, Brazil is not going to be pressured. She's signaling she's not going to be silenced by an avalanche of left-wing attacks. Watch this.
George, for those who are telling me to shut up, they told Hillary that a couple of months ago. You know what I tell them? Go to hell. I'm going to tell my story.
Good for her. Also tonight, a smoking gun bombshell report from the Hill's John Solomon. Now, an early draft of James Comey's now infamous announcement about the Clinton email investigation actually accused Hillary of being grossly negligent. Okay, understand those words are precise and specific, the exact standard, which means she broke the law. And John Solomon obtained a copy of a letter that Senator Chuck Grassley sent to the FBI, which contains the key sentences found in the draft memo. It says, quote, there is evidence to support a conclusion that Secretary Clinton and others used the private email server in a manner that was grossly negligent with respect to the handling of classified information and material. And another part of the memo says, quote, similarly, the sheer volume of information that was properly classified as secret at the time it was discussed on email, that is excluding the up-classified emails, supports the inference that the participants were grossly negligent in their handling of that information. Now, those words are key. They were later then edited out and replaced with the term extremely careless. At the time, I told you there's no difference, even though he explained that Clinton had secret, top secret, special access program, classified information on an email server stored in the basement of a mom and pop shop, which, by the way, we now know 5 separate intelligence agencies, countries that don't like us, were able to hack into. And a source also told John Solomon that 3 other people were involved in helping draft and then edit, out of the legal realm, Comey's statement about Clinton. Now, they are Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. Now, he's been under fire ever since the Wall Street Journal reported that a political action committee run by, yes, Virginia Governor, I don't care about the rule of law, Terry McAuliffe, had deep ties to the Clintons. They donated $500,000 to the state Senate campaign of McCabe's wife, Jill. And she also got another $200,000 from the Virginia Democratic Party for a state race. This is unheard of. And late last week, we learned from Judicial Watch that Andrew McCabe did not recuse himself from the Clinton server investigation until just days before the election. There's also more tonight. The FBI General Counsel, James Baker, he was also involved. Investigative reporter Sarah Carter reported back in July that Baker was being investigated for leaking classified information to the press. And the third person who helped Comey was his former chief of staff. Now, John Solomon's report also notes that it was not clear who recommended making the crucial change in wording, but that the Senate will likely demand those answers. Good, it's about time. We have been saying for over a year, Comey, the Obama Justice Department, were protecting Hillary Clinton for laws she broke that we'd be put in jail for. This revelation tonight offers up even more incontrovertible evidence. Comey's original news conference never made any sense, because he literally explained how Clinton broke the law for 13 and a half minutes. But then he stopped short of recommending charges by claiming she was extremely careless instead of grossly negligent. A huge legal distinction. Take a look at the side of your screen. It's a list that our friend and colleague, Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett, put together for us tonight, showing the laws that Clinton violated with the private email server. We'd go to jail for this. Comey top FBI officials knew Clinton engaged in criminal conduct. Otherwise, they wouldn't have accused her of gross negligence. But then something happened. The million-dollar question is what? And remember one other thing. Remember, Comey made his decision well before he ever talked to the main people involved. He had already concluded before he investigated what the outcome would be. Remember, he refused to testify, did testify under oath, that former Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Remember, she pressured Comey to call the investigation, which was an investigation, a matter, and then he complied. And we also know that Comey decided to not recommend charges against Clinton months before interviewing the key witnesses in the case, including Hillary. You can't decide before doing the investigation. That is why, in addition to Congress, the Department of Justice needs to open an investigation into how the FBI and the Obama administration handled the Clinton case where obvious lawbreaking took place. We cannot in this country have a two-tier justice system. That's not how this country works or is supposed to work. Also tonight, a source is telling Fox News, our own Catherine Herridge, that the House Intelligence Committee is now asking Fusion GPS, that's the company behind the fake, phony, anti-Trump Russian dossier, to turn over records that allegedly show payments to journalists to publish stories. Wow. You talk about first Russia propaganda, Hillary, the DNC that she ran, she paid for it all. And then, of course, the group that used it, now they're saying, hey, let's pay the journalists. Now, keep in mind, the same company that they used to funnel $10 million or more through a third-party lawyer to create the dossier that used Russian sources to smear the president and try and influence the American people with phony Russian information to steal an election. And on the issue of so-called Trump-Russia collusion, tonight, yet another prominent Democrat forced to admit a year later she has seen nothing to indicate there was any collusion between Donald Trump and the Russians. Here's Democrat, Senator, liberal, leftist Dianne Feinstein.
Have you seen any evidence that this dirt, these emails, were ever given to the Trump campaign?
Not so far.
Not so far. Have you seen any communications that suggested that the Trump campaign wanted them to release them through a different means? Because obviously they were ultimately released by WikiLeaks.
No, I have not.
If the Democrats and the left-wing media in this country cared even a little bit about the truth, then they would stop spreading lies about President Trump. And now they should focus on real Russia collusion, real crime, real evidence, real impropriety. And finally tonight, our hearts, our prayers go out to the people in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Their unimaginable pain and suffering after a madman attacked a church yesterday, killing 26 people, including young children, injuring 20 others. This is beyond tragic. Yet the Democrats, sadly, members of the mainstream media, within hours they're racing to politicize this tragedy, call for more gun control. Now, think about this for a second. People are still in the hospital. Others haven't even been laid to rest. All they care about is politics. And what's ironic is these are the same people who are exploiting this tragedy. That they never talk about Chicago. I have some information about Chicago from this weekend. I've been saying it for years. We've scrolled the names of the thousands killed because the media ignored it. And even then, President Obama ignored it. 18,000 shootings in Chicago in his last 6 years. Really? 3,000 dead?